Watchman's
King
notes.
Declan wants you to keep it down.
The guitar started, like the band was like, "Is the next song yet?"
Watchman's notes. That uppity girl. All right, you learned your lesson. Watchman's notes. That uppity girl who came in with the latest batch of interlopers stalked across half the damn city last night. Came to see me. Let me know how much more afraid she was of Exosa's cronies than us. That's why she offered to help. I buy it. Not half because I know so well the fear of Exosa. That's why what we're doing is what's important. That's why the LPA is the only escape from the hell that Pox has become. Sent the girl back to her own. When the time would come to spring the trap, she'd make it easier. Doesn't really matter how. She's gonna be staying on that island with the rest of them. If she thinks she's got a ticket out, fine. But it's not worth the risk. Old man came by. Told me about the same as the girl. Told him what happened. He was surprised. Agreed to do the plan as usual come morn. One of my guys will let them onto the island, and the bridges will come down till next mealtime. Business as usual. Except it wasn't. Arya is too special. More so even than simply being the next to intake the power of the Spires. She's something entirely new. The plan held for her and her own was not to come to pass. She bent fate to forge a new path, and so they walked free of the plot the deserters of Madcal had set for them. I look forward to the day that they all next stand atop a spire. I wonder if they might meet the Arbiter there again. I wonder if the Arbiter will allow them. Yeah, I sure hate saying fate in this game, because I can just hear the fucking typewriters going off. He said the thing!
He said the game.
The name title, yeah.
Yeah, it's still funny. Alright, so we were... Uh-oh. Where do I want to... Which map is safe? I think I've changed all of them, so I'm going to drop you there for now. I deleted your old map.
Alright.
You are currently roaming the islands on your escape path. But as you can see on your world map, at the end of the journey is a big world boss. So make sure you have a bunch of extra mans.
We should go back here and get some experience.
Oh, do we have enough healers?
You got one?
Yeah, we got one.
Alright,
Another
well.
saint.
We'll do round robin for the loot.
I roll mead.
I
don't
I
think so,
cannot
buddy.
heal anyone but myself.
There's a purple
I'm built pure
sword.
damage.
There's a purple sword drop every 1 in 500,000 times.
Need. It's soul bound, so you can't give it to somebody else once you get it.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
What else do I know about shitty MMOs?
I was trying to make a joke about Anthem, but it's not common to me.
Alright, so Arya last checked and felt that you'd located the stone you were looking for. And that it's embedded in these mountains about more than 100 feet down.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you share that with everybody?
Yeah, so I guess that's we'll start since you guys don't also
Would
have
you like to
magic
share with the
rock
class?
yeah, Arya doesn't say anything. She kind of shuffles awkwardly.
Arya's like, keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, she'll lift her fingertips from the ground, and her eyes will stop glowing all cool and magic like. You guys are all impressed.
Okay.
And said it's about 100 what down?
Feet.
100 feet. Ooh, 100 feet. Think
Did
about
I say
that.
meters last time?
Might have been meters.
Should be
I'm
300
stuck on a-
feet.
Yeah.
Probably
Gotcha.
meters, because I think I said 100 meters. I somehow had the numbers 100 and 300 in my head at the same time, which would mean meters versus feet, so probably that. It's
Okay,
5 feet
so,
down. You can reach down
yeah,
and grab it.
she'll say about a foot down. But Arya will communicate. She'll say about 100 meters down. I'm picking up a ton of it.
We can't get to it now. But we will find the time, and we will get that stone. We cannot leave here without it.
She'll say, and how much longer do you think we'll be in this area? It's not exactly like we can come back.
We'll move forward. If a bridge is down, then we'll take our time. If not, we'll wait until we reach the gate and make a decision there. We stick with the group for now. There's safety in their numbers.
She'll look to Canara and say, you good with this plan?
Canara's T-posed as her player considers her options. Ugh.
The player hovers at the dialogue menu for 8 minutes.
Geralt looks left and right.
Keeps cutting back to Arya, like adjusting her belt and looking to the left.
Or just the subtitles are still on screen, but Arya's just kind of blinking and just moving her head on an axis. This is good decision-making music, too.
So, for my clarity, have the others started moving ahead without us?
Yeah, at Motz's direct order, or sort of bidding, they have moved ahead, yeah.
Okay, well then maybe now is the best time.
Ostric's not. He's for some reason he's kneeling by everybody. Just grabbing that loot.
Oh.
He's gonna grab that loot.
Slurping up intestines.
All right, you
Hear a
collect
gold noise each time.
You collect 6 silver,
Okay.
some rat pelts.
Oh.
Um,
Or you like right before you finished.
I hold square so all the coins flow to me instead.
What? You can do
That's
that.
right. I got the balloon too, the
All right,
wealth
I
balloon.
expecting. Okay, we're gonna have to like fight over it because I expected that too. So they're suspended in midair between us.
I needed it.
they're being ripped apart atom by atom.
Oh
I
no.
needed it.
Oh, made up of tiny nanometal.
Canara will look at Arya. And
Need
she's
something?
she'll kind of crane her head to Ostrich and she'll say, Knight, would it be difficult to fashion some sort of long harness?
Let me. Well, I don't even know if I have to investigate. Is there rope
Yeah.
around here?
We have what's left of the parachutes. As a heads up.
Yeah, we don't want to dismantle them.
Well, we also have rope from the bridges behind us, realistically.
Actually, yeah, Ostrix is gonna. He's gonna take a look over at the bridge. We could cut it from one side and use it as a kind of ladder, so we cover our tracks at the same time.
Canara will look at Moats and she'll say, we may not have the opportunity to loop back. She says, and by the time we do, they're going to be looking for us. We need to be decisive.
Then is it now?
He says, if the knight can make something quickly, then he can drop me down and I will pick some up for us and we will be moving. That sounds terrible. She'll say, and we will be on our way quickly.
Then see to it. Sarostong, stay close. Be ready to move.
She's good with that. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, good buddy.
All right, Ostrix will go over towards the bridge they crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Would it be possible for me to cut one of the sides on the side to indeed create a kind of wood board? You played Dark Souls 3, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I referenced it last time.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. A rope bridge, a wooden rope bridge, makes a perfect ladder.
Of course.
Nothing more
Right.
natural in this world.
I'll try to do that, I suppose. Question is, where do I have to be on that bridge?
Yeah. So,
Actually, you know what? We'll do this just like Dark Souls 3.
oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut this baby down to the strands, and I'm gonna attempt to run across, and probably have to do a challenge.
Oh boy.
Got a parachute, so
That's my man.
My man.
Yeah, thank God we have parachutes, just in case this all goes bad. Canera will look at Motes while this is happening, and she'll say, if you would see fit to stay ahead with the other group, says, that is your own prerogative. This should not take us long.
that's a good point. So, song accompaniment. We'll join them, and they will join us after. It's best not to keep them waiting and arouse suspicion.
Probably for the best. You suck at lying.
Don't be so sure, he says. I lied to you last night.
Mm.
Okay.
That was a critical failure, Motes, but, I mean...
Please, okay. He can't
What?
hear you, Canera. It's too late.
He's moving.
His ears aren't blind.
Very good, Dave. But I'll allow her to lead me on across this rope bridge.
Okay. Hang on. Hang on, guys. Okay. When you get there, the other four are standing there. They're all kind of huddled up behind this building, and they look. The more fussy of the group are looking impatiently at one another, and Volkaea spins to you and she says, "Finally, I know you're obviously blind, but surely you could navigate the bridge faster. And where are the others?"
You want to take this one first?
Yep. Arya will. She's kind of like over leading Motes, like got both arms wrapped around one of his. And she'll say, maybe I'll roll this one publicly.
God, right, because you're still pretending to be his girlfriend.
Just-
Wait, you're pretending?
Oh,
She's my real girlfriend, guys.
Sorry.
She'll say, the Prefect security detail is trailing behind, making sure that we're not being followed.
She's going to stare directly at you, furrow her brows, and say, "All right." And then she's
Okay,
going to turn.
good. And I'm sorry, I was gonna get in there, add the one to it as well, if that changes anything.
Well, that's helpful to be very late on it, Kane.
I know. Didn't want to interrupt you while you were speaking.
She's going to turn and gesture, and as you can see here, the part of the island you're on is separate from its immediate neighbor, and there is this machinery, what do you call this even? This moving platform that goes between the two? Seems to transport personnel
ferry.
and cargo. I guess a ferry.
Yeah,
Sort of a gondola.
like a lazy Susan.
Gondola.
Whoa, Dave.
The rendering here of its mechanics are more abstract and utilitarian than making any sense.
Sure.
But you get the gist of it here. There's a moving platform. The two places that it seems to connect to are these cliff-built buildings on either side. Not immediately noticeable to you is any resistance on either side.
Okay.
But the platform is currently on the opposite side from you, and for whatever reason, it has not been moved back yet.
Okay, I'm blind, so I'll give them the easy question here. What's keeping us?
There's a big gap between the two sections of this island. And there's this platform on a pulley that goes between, but we have no idea what's on the other side.
And we cannot call this ferry to ourselves?
Ramses puts his hand on the wall and says, I'm thinking we could, but... Well, first we had to wait for you to catch up, and second... We have no idea what's going to happen once it gets over here.
From my it's not an open top. It's basically a closed object, is what you're saying.
No, it's open. It's just that platform.
He's an experienced warrior, right? He's a what's the name for their group?
Lawbringer.
Lawbringer.
Yeah.
And your experience as a lawbringer, what would you expect? You're hesitant. Why?
Because we're fighting on unfamiliar terrain. These people own this place. The LPA is in charge of everything here. And they're aware of us.
And stepping onto a precarious perch is risky in that, I understand. Is there another way?
He's looking left and right, and he shakes his head and kind of shrugs with his arms out. Says, nope.
Then we take the risk here, or we find another way. Which is it? The longer we hold and wait, the more they have time to plan. Just kind of like conferring to the group. I mean, like, the longer we sit here, the more they fortify. So,
Ramses looks back and says, be a mite more secure with your own capable warriors joining our ranks. I'm kind of alone out here.
I guess the question is, how long would it take for the other group to get here?
Let's see.
Yeah.
See how they do. So, what are you doing? You with the plan, what are you doing?
I'm cutting this bitch.
Oh, that's right.
Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go halfway to where the section meets. So I'm going to loosen the support strands that hold the bridge up and then hoof my way across the other side.
Alright.
And since I'm heavy, in doing so would cause it to snap.
Okay. Yeah, you probably don't need to roll anything of success to just sort of cut the thing up. But it's
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I was like,
yeah.
man, that's like some D&D shit where it's like, oh, I accidentally cut it too hard. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. So yeah, I guess just athletics, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's going to be in athletics. So, Ostrich is out. There's a wide shot of just him surrounded by clouds and blowing dust as he stands in the middle of this wobbling bridge. With what degree of...
Actually, wait. Could I do something before that?
Mm-hmm.
I was wanting to... I don't know if it'd either be crafts or investigate to see which of these things is the most like each panel. No panel is created equally. I'm wondering which one I would like specifically want to jog across to give myself an advantage.
Which singular wooden panel?
Well, you know, they're like spaced out and shit.
Yeah.
Kind of an abstract one.
There's going to be like hundreds of them, though, to run across.
That's true. I guess that would take too long. Yeah, whatever. Never mind.
Fine, I'll give it to you. You're so close, because I wasn't going to tell you, but if you thought of it, you can just say, I want to create advantage with crafts by doing the goodest job cutting this bridge so I get a nice head start.
Yeah, I was gonna say something like that, but like I don't know how I would mechanically cut a bridge real good.
I mean, just by being skilled.
Because I mean, yeah.
I think the justification is just you're using crafts to basically enhance the fact that you're a very skilled craftsman and you're not just going to butcher this cut job.
Well, the
Yeah,
narrative could
I
be
guess
too that
so.
you start cutting it and you know that it's going to give it a certain point, so you've cut
Yeah.
it far
Yeah.
down
I just
enough.
I
Yes,
just worry
Kane's
about
thing.
that being too close to. Yeah, hey, can I put this square peg into this rectangular peg?
It
Like I worry about doing that too
literally
much.
any skill in Fate is just if you can argue its case, and you know, I'm no pushover when it comes to saying no. So you can try whatever you want, and you're gonna get a real answer.
The risk is that you fuck up, so it's not like Declan doesn't
Yeah.
get something interesting out of it.
All right.
That's true. Hmm. I'd say that matches.
It's an aspect.
It's an existing aspect, but it's not a free use. So you do you take out your whole ass sword and use like a Cloud's Buster sword to cut some bread, or are you using finer tools to start
Fuck no.
cutting the fibers?
I use my knife.
Okay. So you dig in and they start snapping, but you're vaguely unfamiliar with the materials that they use out here. And so it kind of starts snapping in a way you're not too familiar with, where your best reckon, your eyeball as a sort of craftsman, gives you the idea that now's the time to stop. But you'll have to see how it holds up. Now's the time to start running.
All right, he'll turn and go across the bridge.
Okay.
Or try to.
Hey, that's pretty good for you.
That means he can use a fate point if he needs to.
So where that leaves you right now is tied with the challenge. So you start running back, but you are in heavy armor, and a descending, tensionless bridge is an odd thing to fight. So as you run most of the way, it falls out from you faster than you can make ground to make good time. And at one point, you're not running, you're just holding on, and you're swinging down, and it slams into the side of the cliff, and you're like 2/3 down, essentially a tall, tall ladder.
Ow.
Take 7 stress.
Perish.
Perish.
Canera, you see this. The ropes make a disconcerting noise as they tear apart and planks go flying, and ultimately the whole thing slams into the side of the cliff, and boards dislodge from the rope bridge and fall past Ostrich and clank off his helmet and such.
Oh. Canera will kind of move so she can. Is he still hanging?
Yes, very much so.
She'll maybe she'll even give it a few beats. Like she'll just kind of watch from her position to like see what he does. Almost like out of respect for someone she feels like is gonna handle it.
He pulls out a monster and pours it into his fucking visor.
Alright, yeah.
Crunches that bitch and throws it.
Crunches that bitch and slides it through his visor, and it starts grinding up.
Yeah.
It's gonna take Ostrich a few minutes to climb.
Alright, well as long as he seems capable, Canera will allow him to do so.
Actually, how far down was that shit?
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, actually this is
Honestly,
not,
yeah. Agreed.
not a bad plan.
Take a look around, Ostrich. Let's see. Roll physique first.
Oh, right.
Okay, perfect.
Listed
You may roll
No,
investigate. You've got
right now it's like 9 degrees.
Oh, right.
You may roll an investigate. You feel with a 3 that your grip is good enough that you're solid here for a second.
Not too.
Okay. First, you look around and you see on the far cliff that the nearest plateau starts to go a darker color at about your height, and then you turn and you see at roughly that height, the same sort of vanilla into chocolate change as you recognize crag clay. It's farther down. You see a snake. It comes out and bites you. It's a little farther down. You have to climb, but you can reach it. But it looks a mite of fright.
How much of shit do we need?
Ostensibly, only one stone you carve a rune into, but you never know what happens on the road.
Just a handful.
I don't have handfuls to spare.
That's true.
You have one handful.
Arguably
Canaro.
not even that.
No, you've got a parachute.
All right. Ostrich will call up and he'll say, I think I found some of the stuff. It's right next to me, but it might be a bit difficult to haul up. Is there a bucket or anything up there that might help with bringing this stuff up after I carve it out?
Canaro will kind of lean back and she'll take a quick look around. Is there anything?
Yeah, roll notice.
I will.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, there's a small bucket.
Is this small bucket gonna carry more than my deployed parachute could?
That's what I was gonna say.
No.
Okay.
No?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how big these parachutes
It's 2
are.
tubs.
Canara will pick up the bucket just out of, like, it's an option, and she'll put it next to the edge, and she'll say, there seem to be a few utensils. She says, however, I have a different option. And she'll take off the parachute from her back, and she'll tug the cord, causing it to deploy. And she's going to say, it flies away. She says, you can use my parachute device. I don't know if we call them parachutes in this universe.
I don't like gliders if you want to come up with a fantasy name or something.
It feels weird to call them
Skyrunners.
parachutes.
Skyrunner.
Person balloon.
Yeah, that's why I didn't have Ostrich say parachute when he made it. He was like, I saw him make these devices.
It's this.
Flippy flappy.
Slow fallers.
There you go.
It's a slow faller. Sure, I like that. I'll say, you can use my slow faller device.
Fall slowing her. Yeah, he'll call up and say, that's what I was thinking. Just make sure it ain't ripped anywhere.
Do I have to check it?
No, it's fine.
It's just flavor text.
She'll say, it's still in the same pieces as you made it.
So perfect then. Throw it down.
Throws the whole thing down. We
No!
just see Ostrix is there, and we just see the whole thing careen past him.
He looks
He
back
looks
up. Canara looks like fucking grandma who doesn't understand what she did wrong.
She just drops it over the edge, expecting him to catch it, and it flies away on like a draft. Man, how am I gonna get it down to Ostrich though?
Good question.
Tie it to a rope and then lower it down to him.
Yeah, my thought was I was just gonna tie it to the rope and let it fall. Do I need to do anything to do that?
Yeah, roll a physique, because you are lowering a parachute that could be caught by any random drag.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I'm so strong.
Wow.
Oh, good thing I did my crunches this morning.
Effortlessly, Canara grabs the nearby post and, with the other arm, starts to slime it down.
Oh!
Jesus. Starts to lower it down. It occasionally catches on wind, but she twirls it around her hand and drags it back in, and eventually the flaps blow in the way of the wind, and it folds back up again.
I shall say, if you need anything else, be free to ask. That's how, man, I am not on it today. I shall
Just
say,
feel free.
A glass of water would be fine. I'm mighty parched.
Kanara's like weirdly agreeable tonight. She's like, whatever you need of me, Ostrich, I'll do it for
She's
you.
calls him
holds-
like sweetie, and he has to double take.
She holds a glass perfectly vertically, drops it directly down where Ostrich has to catch it.
Alright, we're gonna rewind. All right, I'm gonna say, get the stone.
Oh shit!
Fuck face.
The camera cuts off at Ostrich's feet, so you just see her walk up somehow next to him, give him the glass of water, and walk off. Alright. You will pull the knife out and start stabbing into this fucking shit.
All right, roll. Hang on.
Hmm?
Yeah. Okay. First roll crafts.
Damn. Right.
All right.
I
He's
spin my
warmed
blade
up.
around my hand and then catch it and then
These crazy successes honestly make my job easier than trying to come up with little arbitrary, like, oh, you're old low. Oh, how do I want to make you, do
Agreed.
half a job at collecting some materia?
It's about speed more at this point, right?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, we are trying to be.
I'll play another narrative.
You get it set up perfect. You hook the slow faller underarm. It's blowing just the right way. The wind is catching it just the right way at the moment. So as you carve away at the crag clay, it chips off of the cliff face and drops perfectly into the parachute. And eventually you've got perfectly, like Santa going to visit all the naughty children, you've got a perfectly full sack of coal ready to disappoint the entire neighborhood.
Sounds like a very personal experience.
No.
Oh, wait, hold on.
It's not.
Is Canara still holding on to the other part of the rope?
I don't know if you guys
Not
have
really.
rope anywhere that's like 100 meters long. Well, I guess you have
Am
to
I
lower it
100
down.
meters down?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I thought she. Oh, I don't know. I mean,
I guess you lowered it down. So
Because my thought was that she had it on a rope and she was going to lift it.
It's true. Okay. Yeah.
All right, cool.
I mean, she had to get down in the
Cool.
first place. I guess she has to have rope, so yes.
Yeah,
It's probably just like part of the parachute.
yeah. There's probably
It's
some
slow
slack.
faller.
I'll say you found it, but you had to find it somewhere. I don't know if a slow faller has like
100
300 feet.
You can pull.
True,
You can pull
true.
one length out, like when you have a hoodie and you like the strand gets on one.
But then what? But then how does the parachute form into any sort of sack?
Yeah.
You tie it out. Whatever. Forget it. You tie it up.
No, wait. We got to draw this.
Let's figure this out.
You can bundle the parachute. Whatever.
Anyway, you tied new rope to the old rope, although it's all from Mad Cow, so it's the same rope. And Canara's got it, and she's the sack man, and that's her job.
Hell yeah.
She'll maybe even with like a tug, like Ostrich tugs on it from down below. And I'll start
Yeah,
lifting it up.
He'll just. He's about to tug on, and he realizes that's probably not a good idea to do that. Someone on the cliff, and he just calls out.
Careful.
All right, I think that should be enough.
She'll start to pull up.
All right.
Physique,
Yeah.
return trip.
Ostrich got a shit ton. So, although you're pretty much fine. And now Ostrich roll physique. Everybody's rolling physique.
Right. Wow.
You fall and die. And
Well, we all knew that was a risk we took when we played Fate.
he died doing what he loved. Scraping the cliff. Crab
bridge.
clay. So, although the collection was very speedy, it's like dipping a bucket into a well and pulling it back up. Ostrich fumbles a bit as he tries to get the knife back into place, and then a couple times yanks one of these weaker boards toward the bottom of this improvised ladder out of place, and that goes sailing down into the wilderness, and it's going to bonk an elk on the head somewhere.
Kill him. He's done it.
It doesn't have to kill him, it just has to bonk him.
Why not?
Mock kills him.
Why not?
I'll roll for it.
I have an image of Canaris pulling it up, and Ostrich just sitting with his like legs out of the parachute. Thank you.
She's like, why is this
Thumbs
so
up.
heavy?
Dust himself
Thanks
off.
for the ride.
Much of that.
So he has to be careful. He has to be deliberate as he chooses the right spots to pull himself back up this ladder. And overall, let's see, getting down, getting up, probably took 20 minutes out of your whole exchange. So, as 20 minutes, at minute 15, back at the ranch, the Baron... What?
I was gonna say, what was Arya's reason we were staying behind?
You're making sure we weren't being followed, so you were lagging behind.
Alright. Well, we're done.
The Baron is going to turn and say, "All right, either they're dead, or they're doing something else. Cause cutting a bridge don't take that long." He's like stepping over, and he puts his hand as a visor over his eyes as he goes to look, and Volkaea actually kind of steps out as well with a passing curiosity.
I will just say to that, they'll take the time they need and not much else. They'll be here.
The Baron will turn and then look to Arya, actually, and he'll say, "Does he ever get to saying a lot more than nothing?"
Arya will say,
I'm going to speak over her and say, if I'm not agreeable, we can easily put the gag back in your mouth.
Or we could use it on you. It'll take the time it takes. Is that the best you got? What are they doing? He's gonna start going down the bridge.
I will tell him to go fetch them.
Nope, Arya's gonna bark, "I hear something!"
Wait, roll to see.
With a 1. Jesus Christ, with a 1. Why do I ever roll with modifiers? That would have been a 7.
Kobolds.
Wait, with a 1? No.
From Mouse. Alright, if
Mouse
not,
was
then,
just yelling at the guy, and then you interrupted him. He's not, "Oh yeah, actually I hear something too."
Okay.
Alright,
Well,
you know.
It's a 3.
Okay. The Baron will spin in place. What? What is it?
She's gonna... What is this way? This is just more stretch of land?
Yeah. More buildings, more trees.
Okay. She's gonna say, it sounded like from the trees. Voices.
The Baron will draw an unreasonably short little pinprick of a sword from his side. And the others will... Oh, hang on.
I call it the compensator.
He'll draw... Let's see. Okay. And Ramses and Melegia will draw, but Volkaea will just stand there and squint her eyes and say, voices from the trees.
Alright,
This one's your lie. I'm gonna let you add this one out.
She'll just kind of double down, and she'll say, I can't put exactly where, but it's coming from that direction, and she'll continue to gesture over there, and she'll say, look, the longer we stand there, they're only going to get a head start on us.
She says, "Now, do you mean the people in the trees will get a head start on us, or are we speaking generally again, and now you're avoiding what you just said?"
She says, whatever I heard over there, getting closer, your move.
The fairy need to be brought to us.
Ramses and Melegia face the tree line and look back towards Volkaea, and Volkaea says, "You know what? I'm not worried about the ones hiding in the trees. I think we can take them. Yes, the fairy needs to be brought over to our side first."
Then we should see to it. The others will be here, and we will need the fairy on our side.
Right. Too right. You, Moses, the Prefect's companion. You call the fairy. I'm sure you can make it work, or have Ramses help you. I'm I'm going to go gather our defenses, and without stopping, Volkaea is going to start making her way across the bridge.
Yeah, okay.
Arya's gonna lean into Moats, and she's gonna say, "You're usually good at barking orders. You can stop her."
No, we can't. She is a prefect, and she is stubborn. And I have not set us up to be the most successful. That is my fault. Now we have to trust in the others. See,
She says, "I don't trust the others. They don't have a sneaky bone in either of their bodies."
if I go, we will only rouse more suspicion. What can we do? She doesn't trust me, and she will not wait for me to cross that bridge.
All right.
We act now. We do what we can. If she asks us questions, we will resolve them later. She cannot sit here and wait for us to answer them. There are enemies all around us. How much longer can she delay us?
Man, this is
It's dire, man.
this is nerve-wracking with no fate points, but shit. Mm. If I wanted to cover up a spell that I was going to do, would I roll that with deceit or would I roll that with stealth? Like to create an advantage.
That depends what you're about to roll.
If I was going to roll lore to use Deep Digger to rupture the cliffside and make it look like these trees are moving, how would I cover that up?
Probably stealth.
Fuck. Ugh. I feel like this one's gonna have good notice.
I think that we're surrounded by people.
I feel like we're fucking surrounded. All right.
This is dire, but I think we let it play out because I'm a blind man with no fucking abilities, dude. I'm sorry. I got nothing.
Arya, well, she's weighing options in her head. And what was this guy's name? Barrett from Final Fantasy VII?
Ramses. But yeah, they're both black, I
Ramses.
guess.
Yeah, that's good to have on recording.
You said it.
Wedge.
I know. She'll say, "All right, Ramses, help me figure this thing out." And is this like a little control room or this little ski lift area?
Yes, a little ski lift. You open the
She'll
door,
start.
step
yeah.
inside. It's a, it's a factory-looking place. It's dusty and the windows are cracked, and you can see a panel of simple machine controls. He's like,
All right.
"So you want to talk to me privately?"
Do you really say that?
No.
Okay.
I've admired you since you
No,
fell
I
in a
think you
hole.
misread.
I really like
I'm
hanging
gonna
out
notice. Is there like a very apparent lever anywhere?
with you. Yeah, there's a pretty obvious crank along
Yeah.
the wall.
Arya's just gonna look at that, and she's gonna say, "Well, I'm gonna shoot in the dark here and assume that this is gonna pull the platform to us. And if Ramses doesn't do anything to stop her, she's gonna pull it."
It starts and then doesn't move past like an inch of a threshold.
Well, that's all we could do.
I guess we're gonna die here, so off with it.
Well, we'll eat moats first.
I don't
Alright,
want
Arya
want
will-
me or you to die a virgin, so.
What?
Since we're both virgins, Arya's gonna poke her head out and let's see if she can get 2 positive notice rolls in a row here.
Yeah.
Can I tell why this thing isn't moving?
No.
Nah, I figured not.
Yeah, the shot you get for a 0 is just when you interact with something you don't have the key item for yet. So it's just a quick 5-second sweeping shot of like clouds blowing the distance and the object just sitting there. And then the dialogue box pops up and says it's not working.
She'll poke her head back in and she'll say to Ramsey, "It barely moved."
That's what the dialogue box says.
Plain white font.
Yeah.
It's locked.
He is.
Yep.
He's gonna rub a chin with a gloved hand and get down on a knee and start examining the machinery.
Ari will lean in, hands on her knees, like she knows what she's looking at. She's helping Dad hold the flashlight right now.
He reaches over and disengages a lock mechanism, like a little clasp that was in place. And then he stands up and starts to crank it, and it starts to budge more. And those on the outside can see or hear the thing on the other side move a foot, and then with a chunk, it starts to swing in place, and it stops again. And he says, "If that's something on this side, it's not the lock."
She says, "Could they have chained it to the other side?"
They know the place better than us, and if I had something that required input on both sides, suppose I'd try to do the one that they're not on.
Thankfully, we have a prefect who can literally teleport, so this should be a really easy puzzle to solve.
The prefect who can teleport is now more than halfway across the bridge and approaching the other side. And I'd say this is at about minute 19. She's going to stroll up to Canera and look around and say, What, have you already lost the other one? What's happening back here?
She'll, did I finish pulling up the stuff?
You at least did, yeah. I think Ostric's 1 minute away from cresting the hill.
That's a cool shot.
Canera moves the, she's
Kicks
just
it off the
hauling it.
cliff.
She kicks up. Don't look! She just hauls the, slow mover back in with all of the...
Slow mover?
I literally had to remember what it was called. But she's kind of hoisting it back, and she actually doesn't immediately respond to the prefect.
She kicks it over the edge, it upturns, floofs out so it deploys, and all the crag clay just makes itself evident flying into the abyss.
What? All the crack clay, the gust of wind catches it. It literally flies all up and in front of her as she walks.
Lands between them.
Perfect.
What is this?
What is this?
Volkaea is going to say, "Attention, Saint!"
She's going to grab the clay and she's gonna hoist it over her shoulder. I'm gonna try to provoke her to get out of my way. Wait. I have a stunt for this. Right. Man, I haven't used this stunt in like years. Oh no, that's provoke instead of... Never mind.
Well.
Also doesn't matter right now. Ah, that's not fantastic.
What do you say?
I actually don't. It's more just a look.
She's just going to take it as one will damage and grab onto the parachute, and you see her drawing her knife to cut this contraband open.
I'm going to stop her from destroying my receptacle. Physique or athletics?
Probably athletics. Whoa! I'm amazed at what that roll was. She was not really equipped to beat you in this. She slices into it, and just real clean, some crag clay spills out and falls at her feet.
Kinera looks very inconvenienced, and she's like, "Are you gonna find me something else I can carry this in then?"
Oh, you're talking now. She's going to reach down and pick it up and hold it in front of her eyes and turn it back and forth.
He says, "Yes, and we're wasting time to get across the bridge."
Oh, the bridge is what we're wasting time on, because I don't think what the prefect said was that this was involved in your mission here. I thought you were, tell me what you were doing back here.
Oh,
He says, "You're going to have to take it up with the prefect if you're so upset." She, man, how big is this slice?
You could, like, grab it. It's like when a bag tears in a shitty way. You could just grab that and now carry it in a weird, awkward way.
Kinera looks
off.
Kinera looks not happy with now having to, like, instead of holding it like a Santa sack, she has to hold it like a shopping bag.
In response, she'll say, "I am the prefect, and you'll answer to me as one of Tunan's prefects. I hold as much station as him, if not more, given how useless that one is."
She's like, "Yes, obviously he's useless since you are back here talking to me." He said, just say,
At that point, I should probably crest the
That's
top.
right.
Yeah.
And we'll climb up and.
I got all the secret stones for the secret mission.
Only one more to go.
He's just carrying them in his arm. We got more.
he like comes up and then he like dumps them back over the edge.
Yeah, that mage ought to be able to tell us where the runes are now, so we can get into the spires we're not supposed to be in.
Dump the rest of them, Canera.
I had some spare time on the way up, so I already pre-carved the runes. Who's this?
Pound them with my feet. Oh. He'll climb up and pull his sword out of the ground that he obviously didn't fucking do all this with, and he'll put it on his back and stride up. He'll take a look at the cut Slowfar, and he'll say, "Now, why'd you go and do something like that?"
Well, it's usually the way we get contraband when the perp won't hand it over.
None of this is good.
These are rocks.
Oh.
Why?
What are you barking?
Oh,
All right, fuck, I'll back off. He's just...
Canera starts
attack
barking.
dog.
Yeah. Canera roll provoke.
Get her,
Kinera's
Jupiter.
secret wolf ears.
Yeah.
His opponent.
Canera says, "You're out of your night."
I can throw. Oh my god.
It was all along.
Wow.
Sorry, what was the last thing said?
Canine era. Oh god.
No.
Alright,
That's how we get contraband.
She just accused you of being a perp.
Kinera says, she'll say, "As you may have figured out by now, we were not just here." It says, to find, what was their initial thing? To find them or to save them?
Locate Volkaea.
Locate. Says,
Oh god, Canera, no.
is,
No, that's fine. I'm just gonna do this.
we were not just here to locate you, Volkaea. Volkaea.
Mommy.
Mommy.
Yeah, that's what I'm gathering. What do you need crag clay for?
Says, man, is it... I'm trying to remember initially. Our other task is to find, what's her face?
Edra
Edraburn. Yeah, so she'll say, to locate Edraburn.
You can see her big pearly blue eyes just look intensely from you, again down to the stone, and then back to you, and she has a quite smooth forehead, but it wrinkles as that sentence enters her head for processing.
And she'll say, I don't mind continuing this conversation, but we are running out of time to move forward. And I'm going to go ahead and roll rapport.
All right.
So I suggest we do it while
That's all right.
walking.
Nice.
Could have been nicer about it.
That's some rapport roll.
No
Get
one's
moving,
tried
bitch.
rolling
And look,
rapport
I didn't
yet.
insult her. I just suggested we keep moving.
She snaps the crag clay up in her hand and points at you and says, "That is the most frank any of you motherfuckers have been with me, so I'm gonna take you up on that. Let's move."
Can I'll pick up these grocery sacks that she's now carrying?
She's gonna pocket the crag clay that she spilled herself. She's gonna look over her shoulder to where Ostra climbed. She says, "Did you use the bridge as a rope ladder to go collect this stuff from..." She leans over the bridge and looks down far enough and just says, "I don't even know how far that is."
He'll look to her and say, "Well, mostly I just cut it so we couldn't be followed."
I don't know that that's true.
Not really.
Yeah, okay, roll deceive.
All right, I'll roll deceive.
Roll the one right after the other of rolls that we got in my interface.
Kanera's eyes literally just look up like, what? Like, what are we doing?
She's gonna turn back and say, "Now you're on a good roll there with the Saint. You can either let her keep talking, or you can start being honest with me now, because I'm gonna know."
It is half true. He was just kind of saying that in passing.
I can tell it's half true. I got a 5 over you.
Kanera will say, with all due respect, Prefect, he is a southerner.
Oh.
Well, that wasn't respectful.
She lingers on Ostrich for a second, but from Kanera's kind of like, "Yeah, she's right," and turns and with just a stiff
right.
jaw starts walking forward again. After which time
Where the lie?
they arrive.
I think she'll say Scourge instead of southerner. No, I like southerner.
It's a little nicer. Jesus.
She does, well, I mean, we're not exactly nice to them, but she also doesn't hate Ostrich, so I'll go with southerner.
She reemerges as Arya and Ramses come out of the building. And she
Okay.
presents it, and now basically deferring to Kanera, says, "Well, this is what we're dealing with here. I guess that we still have not made the decision to go across."
Arya, you want to announce why we can't?
Yeah, she'll kind of side-eye Canary and Ostrich, and she'll say, "Well, we got the mechanism working from this side, but..." And she'll point over to the lift and say, "That's about as far as it will move. I suspect that they've got it blocked somehow on the other side, maybe chained."
Is there a pole that runs directly across?
It's more like a wire, like a very tight wire. But yeah.
So theoretically,
Do it.
I could shimmy across.
Just get a running start and use a slow faller to slide across.
Theoretically, yes.
All right.
It's pretty much
I'm like-
horizontal. There's no incline.
I'm
Yeah, you fucking run into that though. You'll get some movement.
I'm willing to take that.
Be stuck midway.
We have a prefect.
Just kind of like kicking her legs, trying to go farther.
Kanera will kind of pull in a breath, and she'll drop the bag of crag clay, and she'll say, "Very well, I will get across."
Volkaea's gonna put her hand up and say, "Wait, we don't even know what's over the... Do we know what's over there yet?" And she turns to the Baron, who, hands on hips, just shakes his head real quick.
Arya's also shaking her head just as fast.
And Volkaea will point at Arya and say, "You shut the fuck up."
I'm so sick of this bitch.
Yeah, she's really
I
anxious.
am
Moats out
so.
Imagine how
fucking
people
sick
are
of
around
her.
you, Moats.
I know. Oh, I know. And now I know what it's like. I'm over it.
Now Moats has like eaten his own pie. You
Oh,
know,
I'm
that's
a
what the
piece of
saying
shit.
is.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
She like puts her hands flat and says, "The only one I'm willing to listen to is this saint and that saint. Not you, Baron. Melege's fine. And especially not you." And she's going to point at Moats and then at Arya and say, "I already know I bought this one's shit before. So you know what? I'm going to go straight up with the person who actually talks straight from your party."
Arya's just gonna sneer back, and she's gonna say, "You'll have to say his name. He can't tell when you point at him."
Oh, I love it.
Canary snorts.
I just look over at Canara and say, Saint, if she'll listen to you, then please.
Says,
Find reason with her.
says, more, man, can I try to, so her fear is we don't know what's on the other side of this, right?
Yeah.
You might immediately get Green Lantern. There's no physical.
Step back and peep the light show.
While they're deciding what to do, I do want to call over to Ostrich then and have him take a look at it, just in case they miss something.
It's a good idea.
I was gonna do that.
Cool.
Canara's crossing and Ostrich figures it out. It like detaches.
You gotta disengage the
shit.
pole. Canara just drops to her death.
You gotta get inside first to take a look.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, you did worse than Ramses, and this is not a skill of his.
Ugh.
Well, that's alright.
So as you're looking around, he's kind of like the non-mechanic at the auto body shop. And he's just got his hands on his hips like, yeah, it's figure it's locked from the other side. Doesn't appear to be
Here's
anything
my
wrong.
fate point.
Okay.
Rerolling.
Well, what aspect?
Let's see. Yeah, I guess I don't really have a specific one for that.
You don't have
Or
one.
kind of.
I wonder if there's editing needed, or if it's just not a
Probably
particularly big
probably
aspect of you that you're like a
I'd say
mechanic.
4. 4, sort of. I probably should edit that. Kind of.
Yeah, now, does 4 include the fact that you're a tinkerer, that you do these things? Because all it talks about is your one
Yeah, the one
trick
tool
weapon.
I have.
We can edit the
Guess
language if
not.
you want, if that's a thing you include, but I need to know whether you were intentional about when you wrote it or if this is meant to be included.
I think it's probably just more of a thing that I've kind of understood as more of an aspect than I thought. So,
Okay.
So
yeah,
then
then these
elaborate
things
upon it.
change.
yeah, that's probably what that is.
Okay, then. Edit that in your free time, and yeah, I'll count it.
Oh, actually, now that I read it, it's kind of loose. Like he's infamous for the tool that he created. I don't know. Whatever. I guess that kind of makes sense. I don't know.
The thing about aspects, yeah, change. If
Anyway,
you leave an aspect loose enough, you can use it for literally anything, which is not the point. So I don't like them that very nebulous. Like,
Oh my god!
well, he's driven a car before, so you
Oh
rerolled?
my god!
Man.
I did.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
My
that.
crafts is high, so I was like, "Hey, man, why not?"
I know.
That feels bad.
Oh,
I
That
hate
is tough.
Oh well, that's all my fate points.
Well, don't worry. You get to multiply them by each other. Oh.
It happens. Canara can jump really far, so it'll be all right.
Canara's already jumping.
it.
She's freeze framed in the air.
Shitty, fucking dumb plateau bullshit tech doesn't make any sense to me.
It's
Fuck
not
this
dumb.
place. Let's just knock this place over.
Oh, fuck, you could. So you stand there for an extra amount of time as Ramses kind of rambles what his thoughts on it are. Doesn't really talk to anyone new in a long time. But you don't work out anything new. So, Canara.
Yeah. Canara will look at the prefect, not our prefect, and say, at some point we are going to have to cross and figure out what is on the other side. And unless we can see anything from here, I suggest I simply cross. Says, we cannot wait around for them to gather reinforcements.
She gives a hard look around and then says, well, if they haven't figured anything out in there, you're right.
Besides, I'm not particularly vexed by the forces I've faced so far.
She's just gonna roll her eyes and wave you toward the device.
Alright. So, I'm gonna Naruto run across this wire.
Do it.
I'm gonna use a blank charge so I don't fall to my death.
Meledia climbs up after you. You can hear her in like a quick succession. And eventually you're standing together atop the building.
Mm-hmm. Kenara says, wow. Do you feel confident in your ability to cross, Sangd?
Well, more confident than less. I just think that you shouldn't be alone over there.
Aww.
Kenara says, while I appreciate your concern, says, I do not need your help. If you are not 100% confident in your ability to cross, you will be best served on this side until I am able to release the mechanism for the card.
She looks like caught between two thoughts about that.
Man. I'm trying to like look at my sheet and figure out what I want to do here. I guess I'll roll a rapport. Busting out these rapports today. Alright. Kenara will, looking at the other saint, and what the other saint may at least recognize as not Kenara in full wrath, but instead someone who is showing at least some sort of empathy for someone of her own stature, will say, stay. It is very possible they will need your assistance. So it's, protect them.
All right, just be careful.
Kenara will say, I cannot promise that. And then she's going to try to take a jump. Actually, she's just going to say no. She's going to take a jump.
Now, why is that necessary? You don't want to be careful?
Because she's dangerous.
Who's that badass
I'm dangerous.
for? No.
I live on the edge.
I got real oily hands.
What? Oh my gosh. There's people home again. There. Wow!
Well, Jesus.
My God.
Well, you know, they're not very good at opening doors.
My door's frozen shut again!
I better hit it 87 times. That always works.
Somebody, please!
Shut that fucking door! It's because you're hitting your door, Morty.
Kenara fucking kneels down and charges up, and there's just the tiniest burst of electricity as there's just a puff of smoke, and then the camera catching up as she is silhouetted by the sun. The wire is basically not involved until the last, 10 feet, at which point she grabs onto it just as a sort of buoy, and then lands in what could be called just a single jump.
Kenara will stick her landing, and then she'll kind of twist her head to make sure, to see who watched. She's like, who watched that? That was cool as shit. No, she'll kind of gauge the distance really quickly.
I'll do it too! Ah!
Well, and then she's going to try to see what she can see from this side as to why the thing may not be moving, and also who might be around.
You're gonna need a crafts if you want to see why this thing's not moving.
Okay, well that's my preliminary notice, which is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Watch me roll a better crafts. Nope. Alright, thank God.
As far as you can see, the village is bare. You see down here this elevator device, also operated by a lever. You don't know shit about machines. End of sentence.
Kinera will jump down and she'll walk over here. Is there any sort of like, being a military rank, is there any sort of way that I could communicate with the other saint that wouldn't just be shouting over this ravine? Like, are there hand signals I could use? Like, maybe just something that would, like, say, like, vacant, like, I don't see people, or, like,
Yeah.
clear. Presuming that the other saint is watching, we meet eye contact. As Kinera looks at the bridge, she'll hold up a hand and do several gestures that sort of indicate that she doesn't see anybody. Supposedly she's clear, but she's stalled.
Melegia usually stands with her hands folded coquettishly, and she looks around, and then makes a little shrug gesture as to why the mission isn't proceeding.
Kinera is going to put a boot against this and just see if she can move it. Just kind of gauge if it's stuck.
Yeah, you can
from
roll
this side.
physique.
I break it.
You give it a good hook, and it starts to move a bit, but once again, kind of meets a solid stopping point, and then the platform itself, bevels forward, now swinging on the ropes rather than any actual movement, and it slams back into the ground beneath you with a solid thud.
Man, I wish I knew more about mechanics. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make this happen.
Maybe Osher could create advantage or something. I know it'd still be at a modified 0 roll.
Nice.
Maybe. I mean, wait. So you already checked the room thing?
No.
No, I haven't gone in there yet. That was my next. I was seeing if I could see anything physically wrong with the...
Order of operations, that's smart.
Yeah.
There was a chain first, yeah.
Yep. So if it's not docked, so she's gonna head into this little room.
All right, you step up. The door's got a bit of give to it, but it eventually creaks open, and similar to the other room, you can immediately spot a control mechanism.
Okay, great. Is it like a lever?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna
You
brute force this bitch.
can't just do that.
I break the lever, and then I leave everyone on that island forever.
You would, but two people are coming to gangbang you at once.
No.
Yeah.
No.
A hammer swings for your head. Roll athletics.
Wow.
Oh, dear.
Terrible.
Oh god.
Oh dear.
You're domed.
It just cuts away and we hear a really wet sounding hit.
See you guys next
Banger.
week.
You just see